There's a guy that runs a little station in Austin called InfoWars, AJ, as we know him, because people are stupid on certain platforms, and you never know. Anyway, so AJ.
Can we call him Alpha?
Yeah, sure.
Alpha Juliet.
Alpha Juliet. Let's call it Alf. The Alf.
Alf.
The alien life form,
No,
which many people
Alf
would think.
Was cool.
Well, he does love cats. He does.
He was a cool cat. Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, right. So anyway, Alpha, he used to be very bombastic, and he's very out there about certain claims, like they're coming for your children. Yeah, they're coming for your children, right? And we all thought they were just nuts.
That's a pretty good impersonation.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. But you know what? And my brother's probably going to kill me. Maybe he was right. And it's crazy. I think the left is coming for our kids, man. To wit. First off, we know they're trying to push critical race theory into the schools. The lower and lower. We know they're trying to entice children, not entice them, but to encourage them to define their own sexualities apart from their biology. We know that's happening at the lower level. We see children going to strip clubs and being or going to a library for reading time by a transvestite. So in that regard, politically, sexually, yes, I think there's plenty of examples to see they're coming for our children because they want to influence their hearts and minds. But at like a different level, I think they're coming for our children. And I have some examples. For instance, you sent me that one, Chris Cuomo, for different reasons. And I'm not a white nationalist. I'm just a person who doesn't want to see babies of any color be killed for any reason. They're babies, for God's sakes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So Fox News reports Chris Cuomo says there won't be police reform until white people's kids start getting killed. So he wants police reform, right? And he's suggesting the only way for police reform to happen is if white kids start getting killed. Ergo, he wants white kids to be killed, which is insane because he's white. So, I mean, is this the unqualified words of a buffoon? Or are they an actual strategy? So we got, coming for the kids' hearts and minds. Now they're coming for their bodies, saying the only way to get police reform and justice is to sacrifice white children. Then we move on. Vampire mice may hold key to eternal youth. What they're doing is they're putting young mouse blood into old mice, and their cognitive functions and ability seems to indicate that the youthful blood is giving them like a youthful body. It's reverse aging. Isn't that interesting, right?
Yes.
And then we go, of course, to Newsweek. Have you seen this one? Can blood from aging people slow aging? Silicon Valley has bet billions in it. And of course, so what the idea is, if you take blood from children and young people and inject it, do a blood transfusion into yours, that it'll have some type of property that will unage, re-youth. I don't know. Pretty intense. But that's not all. Exhibit number 4.
You always come at me hard.
Yeah, right. This one's a coffee sipper. Biden administration ends limits on use of fetal tissue for research. Now, whether you're for it or against it, and honestly, if you're for it, I don't think we can be friends. I don't want to be friends. I mean, this idea here is the decision reverses Trump's administration rules that allow a scientist to use tissue derived from elective abortions to develop treatment for diseases, including cancer and AIDS. They throw that in there because they want you to think that's what it's going to go for, but not so much. As we can see from the others, they're using this kind of stuff. They're injecting. They want to inject our children's blood, and if they can't have their blood, and they'll want to kill them, either to alter of progressiveness to police reform, or so that they can cure their cancer from the way they live in their life. It's just, are these people coming for our children? For God's sakes, look at this nonsense.
That's heavy. I mean, you just hit me with. So I like coming in here to the studio.
Talk to me why.
214.
That's right.
I never know what to expect. I oftentimes have no idea what we're going to talk about unless you.
Some wacky shit. Like that. Some wacky, twisted nonsense, right? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, it's I don't want to use the word frightening in terms of fear based, but frightening in terms of alarming. Like,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
I-
Startling.
I start thinking, okay, what do I need to do to prepare to fight against what I find to be completely against my values?
Right.
Protecting, the life of the innocent, my family, my kids. So it's heavy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So it just, I don't know how, and Stephen Crowder talks about this a lot. I just don't know how there can be middle ground or common ground with people that want this. How can you say, okay, yeah, let's try to find somewhere where we can have some, meeting of the minds, as Stephen calls it, some common ground. And when their stance is abortions at all times, and we're going to harvest, not only are we going to abort the children, we're going to harvest their bodies and pump it into other people, rich people, and then we're going to take their blood too and pump it into rich people. Like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Well, I know
Right?
the government